coin collectors are crazy for not doing this. And yes, I'm clickbaiting you to click on this. Some of you already know these things, but man, this is some opportunities. I'm going to bring up something that you need to do. So stay tuned. Okay, I want to show everybody my website, portsmouthcoinshop.com. Some of you already know, and I appreciate everybody's a regular customer, but I do have some sell items here at the top. I've got these 81S, mint state 63, and these are all white coins handpicked by me, guaranteed that they're white. I have several of these. I bought a big bunch of Morgans, and these are in. I have 36 in stock. They're not going to look exactly the same. This is a stock photo, but they are very similar in appearance. I promise that. Then I have these 2011 S's. I don't have very many left, but that's a good deal on a mint state 70. So anyways, what's this crazy thing I'm talking about here for coin collectors? Well, I'm going to boil this down into one point, but I want to show you a couple examples of what I'm talking about that just blows my mind. Even as a coin dealer and experienced in the business, it still blows my mind that this happens. I've talked about Platinum Eagle mintages, or Platinum Eagles in general, and we know they're low mintages, okay? But they're not just low mintages. They are scarce mintages. Now, I come over here to the Platinum Eagle guide. They've got it listed up here. I have it on my website too, but it's not as condensed as this, so you can see it all together. But look, you have the 1 ounce platinum. Now, you can forget about melt value on the platinums. There's a premium on them, and that's the way it is. But when you come down through these mintages and you look at them, 56,000. The most was 133,002 in 1998 for the 1 ounce. I mean, that is still a low mintage. Then you come down and you look at 6,000 for a 2006. I mean, are you kidding me? Here we have a low mintage coin, and yes, they didn't circulate, but yet all these might still exist. But if 6,001 people went to fight for these, or for that year, the value would have to go up. I mean, how many collectors of Platinum Eagles are there? There must not be very many. I mean, can you imagine? Someone with enough money could have the entire mintage of the Platinum Eagles, and own it. And if you look at eBay, for instance, here is a half ounce for $799. It's the 2001. Well, come over here and look at the mintage of the 2001 half ounce. Look at that. I mean, this is not a joke, okay? People want to know what a good investment is. Well, I can't say that these will go up in value in the future, but my goodness, if they ever did, the values should be astronomical for these things. I mean, you shouldn't be able to touch them for regular prices on eBay. I mean, they should be auction worthy. That's my opinion on it. But I look through and you can't hardly find anything in platinum. Look at that. You get a 10th ounce for $261. That's still a bargain for the mintage that it is. I mean, we can look at the mintage, so we can look at the 10th ounce mintages. Look at these. I mean, we're talking very, very low mintages. You can still find some of these, but you don't find very many of them. You don't see ounces out very much as far as platinum ounces. Let's do another thing here. Liberty seeded dollars. Okay, look at the mintages of these coins. I mean, if you find a mintage over 1 million, you're lucky. These are extremely low mintage coins, and yet when you look at the values of them, if you look, let's say, go on eBay and you want to find a seeded dollar, they circulated. So the mintages don't even mean anything, really. I mean, it shows you what they started out at. But yet, since then, they've circulated, have been lost, and some have been melted in the past. So there's not that many left. So when you take, a mintage, and you melt down some of them, I mean, we're talking about 1,300. We're talking about 24,500. I had a 43 or a 44 up. I can't remember. I had one of these up, and it's a very low mintage coin. I couldn't even sell it. Nobody even wanted it. Doesn't matter how rare it is. Nobody wanted it because it was damaged, and I guess my price was too high or whatever. But when you look down through here and you're looking at seeded dollars, actual seeded dollars, we need to go to the dollars here. Some people, you got to watch out. You don't want to get mixed up into the half dollars. You got a lot of fake coins, but I mean, you can't hardly find them, but yet the higher grades are worth a bunch of money. But when you do, always like this one here, it's got some type of strong details. I don't know what that means. It looks like it's a little damaged or anything, but if you go to collectors seeded.com. I did a video on this in the past, so we can look up seeded dollar and see if there's listings for seeded dollar. What the problem is, you're going to see a lot of dollar or half dollars mixed in. So you have to make sure you're looking at an actual dollar. So here we have an 1872. It may not be on eBay still. I'm not going to click on it there, but let's say it was for $295.95. So what is the mintage of the 1872? And it's going to be different for each year. So you had a little over $1 million. Well, the 1921 peace dollar was actually a mintage of a little over $1 million as well. So, you got two comparisons here, one, but they're still worth about the same. I mean, we're still talking almost the same value range. And I can guarantee you there's less of the 1872 seeded dollars left than there are of the 1921 peace dollars. And this is what I try to tell people. This is about popularity, like I've told. It's not about low mintages. You can say it all you want. It's not. Low mintages help jumpstart demand, but demand has to be there. You have to have whatever's left of the 72 or any of these platinums that have the mintages. You have to have enough people wanting that coin to drive the price up. So it has to have that demand. The only way you can have the demand, for one thing, demand and mintage help fuel popularity sometimes, but not always. Seeded dollars are really not that popular of a coin to collect. People think that they cost too much or whatever value, or whatever the reasoning is behind it. Morgan dollars are always more popular. Okay, peace dollars are even more popular than the seeded dollar. People think they're more economical. But in reality, when you look at the mintages and all, they're not. Another thing is that, like platinum. Platinum went up so high at one time, people just kind of stopped collecting it, or they didn't think of it as a collectible, it was more of an investment. They thought it was going to go even higher, and it didn't. It dropped. Various reasons, industrial reasons, and whatever you want to blame it on, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Point of it is that platinum is very economical to buy now for the low mintage that we see. I mean, it's really crazy. So let's even do commemoratives. Okay, let's do that. So we got modern commemoratives here. And some of these modern commemoratives, you pick out the ones that have the low mintages, and which really all of them do to a point. But you got your gold, but nobody wants the gold. I've seen gold being melted so much. I mean, it's crazy how this works out. But look at the USO dollar. I mean, 124,958. Now you do have proof and you have MS. So you want to differentiate between that when you're buying these. But just, I mean, take a look at this. I mean, this is the gold, I believe. This is the proof mintage. So what they're showing here, uncirculated and approved. Okay, so the uncirculated gold has a mintage of 62,913. I mean, we're talking some low mintage coins here that you can pretty much buy for melt, and it might not get back to, it's not melt right now, but at one time it was. But look at this, 1993 Bill of Rights, the UNC version, 23,266. These are all modern equivalents of buying a rare low mintage coin, and people are not taking the opportunity. And I understand that they don't have the popularity. If they had the popularity, that would give the demand. They've already got the low mintage, and probably even lower than that, because I can tell you something right now. I know for a fact that most of these have been trading for less than melt, way before all this started happening, the COVID started happening, and the shutdown and all that, and the demand for gold. These were selling for less than melt, and they were going to the refinery. I know they were. And so you don't know how many is actually left of some of these. And it'll all probably shake out in the future, 10, 20, 30 years down the road. I don't know. I can't say that these are great investments and all that. I'm not trying to give people investing advice. But if you want to look into something, people ask me all the time, what should I invest in? What should I buy? Well, I want you to buy what I'm selling, but I do sell this stuff sometimes. But I mean, the bottom line is that if you're really wanting to get into it, you really want to see something that's going to be good for you, maybe to buy, something to put money in, maybe that's a good idea to do that. I don't know. Maybe we just need to form a club for the low mintage, modern low mintage coins that nobody wants, and maybe come up with some way to promote them and to push them and to drive the prices up. I just think that really, when you look at some of this stuff, coin collecting is just an untapped hobby. It's just, I mean, really, you can think about it. We're at the bottom stage of it. It will really blow up one time. But people want to fight it. They want to fight premiums when they go up and be negative about it. Why would we be negative about it? Just because we used to be able to buy it for a good price, we got spoiled. Let the premiums go. Let people buy this stuff and pay more for it and drive the prices up, because the low mintages, they're key dates at that point. I'm sorry, man. When you got something that's less than 30,000 mintage, why aren't you buying it? It just makes sense to me. And I'm not saying pricing things so that it's way above retail like certain companies do and Home Shopping Network does whenever they're pushing their labels and all that stuff. I don't mean it like that. I'm talking about low mintage coins that have the potential, if popularity ever came to that series, that would be very hard to obtain for a good price. So this is my advice to coin collectors who consider this some type of an investment thing, because it's not an investment. I mean, coin collecting is a hobby. If you make more money when you sell it, that's great. So this is the deal. Buy a red book or use the sites that I use my website. But I think a red book's the best thing because it actually lists the mintages. Pick out the lowest mintage coins of something that's interests you, whether it be commemoratives, gold commemoratives, or whether it be platinum eagles or seeded dollars, and try to find those coins. Try to find them in an affordable budget. You got to pick something for your budget, obviously, if you don't have a lot of money. But that's what I would recommend putting your money in if you think you want to invest. Now, it doesn't mean you buy these that the value is going to increase and guarantee here. It's not, okay? But they probably have a better chance of increasing in value in the future. So that's just my advice. Just a little advice. Like I said, take it for what it's worth because no one knows the future. So hopefully this helped you a little bit, maybe for those of you who are looking for certain things to buy. Like I said, Morgan dollar is always a good thing to get into too, but this is a little bit of a recommendation of mine that I see. It's just crazy that these prices aren't higher. So thanks for watching my latest video, and hit the sub button and have a great day.